Greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. L. I'm a police expert, 24 years in policing. If you're unaware, if you're a returning guest, then welcome back to the podcast, right? So I did 24 years in the police department here in Connecticut. I currently do expert testimony work for lawyers. That means if there's a case such as the one we're about to analyze and that and there's some discrepancies about what goes on. So a lawyer would hire me, or a private citizen can hire me. I will take a look at the information that they give me, and I will be able to render a professional opinion based on legal precedent, based on case laws, court decisions, state laws, policies and procedures. I will analyze all that. So before we dig into it, let's just talk a little bit about how these type of assessments are made. I spent some time in internal affairs as well. And so we're going to take a look at this particular case of this William McNeil Jr. case, in which he is trying to allege that the police acted inappropriately during his police encounter. And so, so it is what it is. We've seen enough of these. We've seen a lot of these. And again, when we get these types of cases, when experts get these types of cases, what they do is they pour through mountains of evidence. They go through court testimony. They go through any type of reports, witness statements, multiple body cams. They slow them down. They analyze it. They break it down. Then they apply these tests or these items through what we would call the filter or a test, right? We apply them to what case law says, how police who are similarly trained, how would they act and react in certain circumstances and situations. So that is a little bit of what we're going to do here today. I'm going to talk just a little bit about police procedures and policies and all that. So there are a couple of major case laws and court decisions that we got to discuss, and I've talked about these before, and that is Graham v. Connor and Tennessee's versus Garner. Both of these are use of force cases. And I'm not going to break these down too much, but what you need to know about them is the police are constrained by their actions under the Constitution, right? In order to seize an individual, the officer who is going to seize that individual needs to act with the constraints and parameters in order to fulfill their role and their duty. So, listen, they can't just go on willy-nilly attacking people, willy-nilly applying their taser, right? All these different types of actions. They need to know that their actions are within these particular court cases that I've outlined and all that. Okay, one case that I will break down a little bit for us is Graham versus Connor. And here is a quick AI version of this. I don't want to get too technical into all this. So this is what happens when we look at what officers deem to be objective reasonableness. Again, the question that is asked is, would a similarly trained officer, an officer with the same amount of training, same amount of life experience, would they act the same way given the circumstances, situations, the level of resistance and force and all that type of thing? And again, all that is subjective, right? It may come off as they're saying that it is objective, but it's really subjective, right? Because if there's a smaller stature officer, male or female, and they're wrestling with a larger individual, maybe he's 6'5" or 6'6" or something like that, 250 pounds of pure muscle, and somebody's, there's an officer out there who's, of shorter stature, 5'6", 7'8", something like that, not as well built, not or even grossly overweight. Are they going to apply the same reason of standard? Does a larger framed officer or pot-bellied officer have to take a beating in order to take someone into custody? And that's the question that are going to be asked. So objective reasonableness, and again, this is from AI, not anybody can look this up. The core of the decision is that the legality of force is just based on what a reasonable officer would believe or do under the same circumstances, not on the officer's subjective intent or motivation. So in other words, the officer's acting on racial animus, or he pulled them over for something wrong or something else that is hidden in their heart, then they don't know that, or they're not going to abide by that. The court held that all claims of excessive force in the context of arrest, stop, or seizure are to be analyzed on the Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable seizures. The court outlined factors to consider when assessing reasonableness, including the severity of the crime, whether the suspect poses immediate threat or whether the suspect is resisting or attempting to flee. So that is the parameters that we as experts and every single police officer out there is going to be judged when and if they apply any level of force, any level of force. What is the reasonable amount of force? The level of threat. Are they attempting to escape, to flee? What's going on in these circumstances, right? So these are the different avenues, and these are the things that we're taking a look at. Okay, all right. So now, having said that, we're going to take a look at this body cam footage from these particular individuals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sheriff's body cam footage because it's going to give us, I think, a broader view as to what is going on in a broader view and a more complete view, because they're going to include multiple different camera angles from different officers who are on scene for this McNeil event, and they're also going to contain his the officers William McNeil's own camera footage and all that. So you can go over to the sheriff's briefing, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. It is on the front page. So let's get over there and let's get into it, right? Add this to the stage. Actually, we'll remove this here. We'll make this bigger here. Add this bigger. Okay, so here we go. I can't make this any bigger here, but here we go. So
you're not wearing your seat.
Arrest.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward it to this particular starting point, and we'll start off from there. So you can go over there and watch it. I'm not going to make this too much longer, but here we go.
Moreover, McNeil was warned 7 times that he needed to open the door and exit because he was under arrest for resisting an officer without violence, or police would be forced to break his car window. Soon after McNeil was outside his car, officers found a large, unsheathed serrated knife on the driver's side floorboard. Now I'll play relevant portions of the body-worn camera of the 3 officers: Officer Bowers, the stopping and arresting officer; Officer Miller, the second responding officer who spoke to McNeil from the passenger side of the vehicle; and Officer Kirsch, one of the assisting officers.
Now, before we get into it here, what I do want to highlight about this is that this particular individual, William McNeil, who was arrested, ended up pleading guilty in court, right? So if you don't know, I actually did a recording about this, and it came out so blurry. I thought it was so unprofessional. I don't know what happened. I had to reset my computer, my modem, and all this type of stuff. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, so we are going to show this from here. And again, he pled guilty, so he knows he was guilty. This happened back in February. He pleaded guilty in March of 2025. February 2025, pleaded guilty March of 2025, and now he just happens to release this video. Shocking outrage. He's got lawyers and attorneys. Obviously, this is a power play to get money. Now, it's not my contention that people often, it's not my contention to play into the race card, but I believe that he was doing this and just trying to get a little bit of money. But it's not going to work in this particular case. And as we go through this, I'm going to slow it down, stop it, and we're going to talk about why. So here we go. Takes a little bit for the body cam footage for the sound to kick on. That is not unusual.
Yeah, Florida 24 Bravo Echo Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I don't like this.
Yes, sir.
That is not a wise move. I do not advocate for anyone to do that type of maneuver, to swing the door open when and if police officers are walking up to you. It's going to become apparent, or at least this is what he's going to state, is that McNeil said his car door wasn't working. The window wouldn't roll down. If that is the case, if you're somehow in a vehicle that is malfunctioning and you cannot roll that window down, then roll down other windows. Give the officer some grace. Do what you can do in order to reduce the tension within the motor vehicle. Do not just swing the door open, because they don't know if you're setting them up for an ambush. Again, what you want to do is day or night, rain or shine, snow, sleet, hail, thunderstorms, whatever. roll the windows down so that you can give the officer some semblance of safety, and then hopefully he or she will then say, okay, I see that there's nothing going on here, roll the windows up. If it's a night, turn on the interior dome lights, just give the officer some level of safety. Here we go back to this.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights, and it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor.
Now, I don't know if it's his, he's trying to play the race card. I don't know if he's just grown up at being an entitled brat. I don't know what was going on with here. He says, no, I'm not going to do this. Call your supervisor, interrupting the officer while he's speaking. This is a whole thing that we can go down. We can make this video 3 hour long. But as an officer, right, you have the right to do what he's asking them to do. Now, a lot of people have been picking up on this fact that it's not currently raining. I don't think that that's relevant. What time did it stop? Again, if you're going to do expert testimony work, what you have to ask, what is sent to the experts a lot of times is, the reports, also weather reports. What time did the sun go up? What time did the sun go down? What time, or you can at least Google this, right? What time did it start raining? What time did it cease raining? We can see that there are raindrops on the car. It could be that by the time that the motor vehicle, that the stop was initiated, that the rain ceased. There's still some moisture and droplets on the car. So, could that be it? Now, the officer said inclement weather. I would almost guarantee that that's just an umbrella term that they would say to whenever there's any type of, again, inclement weather, rain or anything like that. But let's put this up here. And this is from the Florida state statutes, including the 2025 special session C, right? It says every operator upon a highway within the state shall display lighted lamps and illuminating devices as herein respectively required for different classes of vehicles, subject to exception with respect due to parked vehicles under the following conditions. At any time from sunset to sunrise, including twilight hours. Twilight hours shall mean the time between sunset and the full moon and full night, or between full night and sunrise. All right. So from dark, from the can't sees, right? Can't see during the day to can't see at night, right? It's dark, right? Well, I guess that's not the case, right? So it's dark from you can't see at night all the way till you can't see in the morning. Once you can start seeing you till the sun rises up, then you have to have your lights on, or during any rain. That's heavy rain, light rain, mist, anything like that. Smoke, any rain, smoke, right? I guess maybe there's a brush fire or something like that. Smoke or fog, anything that is limiting one's visibility. I live in Connecticut. We would probably put a statute in there about gosh, what am I trying to say? Snow. Why was that escaping me? So that's what that is. So based on that, I think that the stop is probably okay, but it can be contended. All right. So that's that. And also he said for not wearing a seatbelt. Looks to be a little tinted to me. I'm not sure if he can really see the seatbelts or lack thereof while he's operating the vehicle. So here we will rewind it just a little bit here so we can hear the reason why he pulled him over and his refusal to comply with the officer's commands.
On a silver Kia. I don't know.
Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights, and it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor.
It's always comical to me when people say call your supervisor. All the time that I was a supervisor and whenever I got there, do you think I'm not going to listen to both sides of the story and then mostly side with the officer? I mean, even if you have a disagreement on the side of the road at 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:00 in the morning, when I usually work the midnight shift, you're not going to win this, right? Do what we're asking you to do. If you don't like the ticket, you don't like what we did, you have the right to complain about it downtown at the police station, at City Hall. You can write letters. You can file sue us in court. You can do whatever you want to do, but we are going to win this on the side of the road.
Why did you pull me over?
So he's again now. This becomes the combative area. Why did you pull me over? He told you you didn't want to believe him. You didn't like the answer, so now he's not. You're not believing him.
You pull me over.
Step out of the vehicle.
No,
Step out of the vehicle. 25 seconds. For the 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it.
Oh, you're supervisor.
Yep.
What's the reason for calling out?
25 seconds. If anybody responded, come in from Commonwealth.
I was watching somebody else. We were talking about that tone that we just heard there. The tone is some type of get everyone's attention type of thing, and we were toned out many times in case we needed to kind of perk up our ears and listen. I heard another YouTuber talking about that, so that is a thing.
Block the vehicle, please.
But the officer seems very, very calm. The officer seems very calm. Thought I heard something. Yeah.
Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. My camera's on too. I've already told you. Okay. Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand? You're under arrest for resisting.
So other officers are on their way. He's already told them he's under arrest for resisting.
The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. Okay.
Arriving officer comes and boxes them in. Somebody else asked me this is actually a re-record. Again, my other video came out so poor, but somebody asked me about the officer who just arrived there where his lights on. In cases in this law that I read to you, this one in the law that I read to you, that this is a screenshot. I think it says law enforcement vehicles may be operated without the display of lamps required by this chapter under the following conditions. A, operation without the display of lighted lamps is necessary to perform law enforcement officers' duties. So there's exceptions to that. So that would be their exception. So yeah.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window.
He was told 7 times. They counted this 7 times. He was told to open up the door or they're going to break his window, step out of the vehicle. 7 times they gave him warnings.
Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. No, he's under arrest. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Okay, let me try to give this a brief explanation here. There's a couple of court cases here. Pennsylvania versus Mims. The Supreme Court held that police have the right to order drivers out of the cars during a lawful stop for safety reasons. The court reasoned that this is a minor inconvenience that outweighs the need for officer safety. So what the court was saying right there is that this, if the officer feels that there is a safety issue, doesn't need to be able to articulate it very clearly, but this is a case where the officer feels we need to order someone out the car. Generally, the police officers are not going to order you out of the car. Generally, what's going to happen is that they're going to, you're going to be able to conduct a motor vehicle stop. If everything's okay, then they're not going to order you out. The only reason that I've ever seen in my time of being in law enforcement and any other circumstance that I've ever read about is when they're ordering people out of the motor vehicle is when they are unsure about something. Something is off. the car's not registered. People are trying to hide their hands. People are not complying. They're being nervous. They're looking around. All this different type of things that are raising the officers' attention and adrenaline. So they want to get them out of the car, do a quick, brief frisk of the car, and then try to understand, what they were reaching for or whatever. In the next case of Maryland versus Wilson, this case extended MIMS to a ruling to passengers, stating that officers can also order passengers to exit the vehicle during a lawful traffic stop to ensure officer safety. So, in other words, the driver of the car, who was the one who has been stopped, detained briefly, the passengers start acting funky, doing things that are just making other officers on the scene nervous. The officers can then order them out the car as well. Again, officer safety type of thing. I don't have a problem with this particular ruling, and again, if people aren't acting funny and making me suspicious, I'm not going to order them out the car, right? So those are two things. So again, can you be ordered out of the motor vehicle? Yes, you can be ordered out of a motor vehicle for any or for no reason. For any or for no reason. Right? The officer doesn't need a thing. I saw a knife. I saw a gun. I saw a hand grenade. Doesn't need to be able to, doesn't have to articulate any of that. Again, just a suspicious type of notion. And rather than have officers be scared and fearful about what's going on, or be cautious or be ambushed, the court in the Pennsylvania versus MIMS, and then reaffirmed 20 years later, Maryland v. Wilson, said yes, it's okay to do that, for officers to do that, because we want our officers to be safe and to conduct efficient and effective traffic motor vehicle stops. So let's keep going with the video.
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Vehicle's blocked in. Just locked it up. He's putting the window down. In fact, tried to talk to last night before.
On the other side of the vehicle right now, there's another officer who's trying to get this guy to open up the door, and it's not going to happen.
Hey,
None of this is necessary. These lights and siren stuff. None of that is necessary. He's blocked in. Let's just get here.
I'm about to break a window. I'm about to break a window. All right, go for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. Here.
33 at 15:21 hours.
What is your reason?
Now, again, he's showing more resistance, right? He's saying, no, don't touch me. More resistance. So right now, I really don't have a problem with what we have seen. What is not visible right here is the punch. I do have a problem with the punch.
Put your hands on your back. Resist. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was going to
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking. Fucking talking shit, bro. I'm doing, bro. What's going on, man? You're under arrest. That's what's going on. No, yes, bro. Yes. No reason, bro. You gonna throw my phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off
now, man.
bro.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro. You just gotta see what the So your partner didn't even ask.
Marijuana in the right pocket.
Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what
I think marijuana is legal in up to a certain amount in Florida. I think. I'm not from Florida.
you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing. It's called resisting, idiot. I didn't do nothing wrong, bro. I don't know.
Actually, what am I saying? No, I think it's not a reason to be. I'm not going to look it up. I don't think it's a reason. If they smell marijuana in the motor vehicle, I don't think it's a reason to expand the stop. I think that's what they said. But you people from Florida can let me know.
You start rescue 1067. Approximately 30-year-old Bravo Mike. Last race to the left. I can go around and get this car. Okay. There you go. Yeah. I know. You should put some gloves on. No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What you know? You need this? You good? Yeah, you or him? Okay.
So that's one officer's view, and this is the backup officer. We'll fast forward just a little bit.
We're conducting a traffic stop right now. You need to comply.
I am complying.
Hey, unlock the car. I'm going to push it up.
Open the door and exit. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
He put his car in that position so the guy doesn't decide to rear end, and he parked that close to obviously the boxman from the front and now from the back.
Door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Under arrest for resisting.
Can you unlock the door and step out?
Can you talk to me though?
I will. Can you step out?
Because you don't even know the whole situation.
You're being done. There's a traffic stop being conducted. You're required to comply.
And I'm required to exit.
So, yes. Correct. Huh? Okay. So what did he ask for when he I guess talked to you?
When he pulled me over,
Yeah.
Open my door because my window don't work. Right?
Oh yeah.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still a legitimate reason to pull somebody over.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on. Huh? Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will. Huh? All right, go for it.
At this point in time, they're going to break the window, and we're going to see the punch.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
That punch right there. That punch right there.
Huh? All right, go for it.
I don't know if I can slow it down. Let's see if I can slow it down.
Exit the.
Let's see if I can slow it. More video settings. No, I can't slow it down. All right, sorry.
Vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Right there.
Show me your hands. Here.
1033 at 1621 hours.
I'm here. What's your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. Get on the ground. No, don't fucking get on the ground. What the fuck?
They're still on.
Behind your back. I'm resisting. Behind your back. And I'm just trying to let him go.
A lot of fluff sticks.
Now they're doing a frisk of the vehicle. Going to notice some Narcan on the floor. Somewhere under here, there's a knife somewhere. I think that's a picture of Narcan.
Narcan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, you see that knife?
Yeah,
That's one of the biggest concerns.
you see what's right there on the seat.
Somewhere there was a knife. I don't know if they didn't take a picture of it or we didn't get it on a body camera. Somewhere there's a knife.
Narcan?
Oh yeah. That's one of the biggest concerns.
And you see what's right there on the seat.
All right, so that's what that begins to show here. So I want to show his camera angle and view. So let me pull that up here. All right, so this is another view of this particular incident here, and we're going to be able to see the punch vastly more clearly on this particular body cam. So here we go. We're going to show this, and this is going to be both the body cam and the individual's William McNeil's Jr.'s his cell phone footage of him recording. So we'll catch both of these at the same time.
When you pulled me over, you opened my door, my window over, right? And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's so.
And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Hey.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
That punch right there, I think, was excessive, right? We pull up this Graham v. Connor type of stuff, right? We're going to look at, right? Let's see. Factors to consider, right? The reasonableness of the crime, right? How reasonable? What crime are we talking about here? He is under arrest for resisting. He's under arrest for resisting. He's already been told that. Whether the suspect poses an immediate threat. He's sitting there, right? He's clearly sitting there with a smug look on his face, very disappointed. And whether the suspect is resisting or attempting to flee. He's not demonstrating any of that. So I'll rewind it again, and we can see the punch.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
1033 at 16.1 hours.
You know, again, I don't know if this is they're doing this because I'm black. They're doing this because or just a millennial type of, or Gen Z or whatever they are. Gen A's, Gen Z's. Just I think Gen Z's. Just like what just attitude. So you're gonna sit back and fold your arms like a toddler.
What is your reason, sir? What is your reason? Step out now. All right.
Oh, wait, was another punch? Hold on, was there another punch right there?
No.
Let me slow it down here. Did he punch him again while he was trying to take him down? Oh, yeah, that's another punch. 2 punches. That's 2 punches. That's 2 punches. I didn't catch that before. You got to slow it down. Just 2 punches.
Put your hands behind your back. Resist. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking. What's going on, man? You're under arrest.
That's where joint lock manipulation and all that would be much better. That's why officers really should study jiu-jitsu. He had a bunch of officers. I'm not sure if that second, matter of fact, I'm saying either one of those punches were deserving. So he showed a lot of patience. I'm going to give him a thumbs up for that. And that I'm going to give him a thumbs down. I'm going to give him a thumbs down for those punches there. So listen, if you go over to the Jackson County's website and you watch the full video, the press conference there, it's very enlightening. The guy, again, pled guilty. He never made a complaint, according to the sheriffs there. Never made a complaint, and is calling for transparency. This officer currently is under I don't want to say suspension, maybe administrative leave. Maybe that's a better term, administrative leave while they investigate this. Right now, I've counted 2 punches right here. I am not in favor of those. Before in my other video, if you watch that, I said that I think that he would probably be maybe suspended. He definitely should be suspended. There's 2 punches that we can see that more than likely not warranted. Not saying he's not resisting. He's definitely resisting. But yeah. So your thoughts and opinions? Hit me in the comment section. Let me know, what do you think that the officer was justified in throwing either one of those 2 punches? Either one of those 2 punches. 2 punches were thrown there. And remember, these are the parameters that officers are guiding under, right? Excuse me, that's the wrong one there. The court, let's see, severity of the crime. What are we talking about here? We're not talking about dangerous felony. We're only talking about motor vehicle violations, first of all. Second of all, we're talking about resisting arrest. Then we're talking about whether he posed an immediate threat. There are 3 or 4 officers there. Were you able to do what you had to do with these? I think it was 4 officers at this time. Could they have done something else? Joint locks, manipulation, take his feet from under him, etc. Versus the punches. And I'm not saying punches aren't always warranted. I'm not saying that at all. I've been in many a scene there where fists were flying, and whether the suspect is resisting or attempting to flee. Him saying no was definitely resistance. The question I would ask is, do you have, right? Because there is a tiered system, for lack of better terms, right? There is the tiered system, right? There's levels to the use of force that go on. So the lowest is the officer presence, then it goes up, and then the highest would be the use of deadly force. Of course, this is not a deadly force situation, but in the middle there are different tiers, and those tiers are more than likely going to differ between departments and agencies. Some agencies and departments may define the level of use of force on, let's just call it tier 2. They would call that maybe joint locks and manipulation. But if they say joint locks and manipulation, that also might say this would be above their officer's presence, right? You got officer's presence. Above that would be verbal commands. We've heard 7 verbal commands. Got another level up because we're here on scene. My presence as a uniformed officer is force. Second tier would be commands. Okay, he's not listening to my commands. I'm forcing him to do something. Next tier, that would depend on departments, agencies in their use of force parameters. And we would look at what would be next on that. Is it joint locks and manipulations? If it's joint locks and manipulations, do they consider that equal with using force? Punches. I did a case one time, and this became a point of contention because the opposing lawyer, this was an officer who had been fired. The officer had been fired because they said that using OC spray was a higher level than what was called for. So the problem with that was in their use of OC spray, they also had punches by the officer, same level. So the opposing attorney was saying, listen, you could have thrown punches, you could have done something else. My argument was, but it's on the same level. I can either throw punches, or according to the same level and tier, I can use OC spray. Maybe above that, or even sometimes on the same tier. Maybe OC spray is on the same tier as using electronic conduction devices or tasers. Or is it all in the same line with using a canine? So if I can punch someone in the face, sick a canine on someone, or use OC spray, if that's all the same tier, then there's no excelling of the use of force according to a departmental issue. The issue would be, is that in line with what the Constitution calls for? And that would take the U.S. Supreme Court to flesh that out. So that's how that works there. So it gets really murky when you have different states and different tier systems and how they rank their application of the use of force, right? So I hope I kind of shed some light on that. So I'd like to know your thoughts and your opinions. If you watched my previous recording, I do apologize. It was so terrible. I had to do it over again. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Do you think that this officer deserves to keep his job? Do you think that this officer was justified in what he did? Do you think they was justified in pulling them over in the first place? And I watched a few after I uploaded my previous crap video. I watched some other videos, which I would say that these people either weren't police officers or they're just, I don't know what they were doing. So one of them was saying that if the police stop was illegal, then nothing else after that should be followed. So if it's an unlawful police stop, follow me here. The other YouTubers were saying if this is an unlawful police stop, then nothing else on that police stop would matter. I'm going to tell you right now, if you follow that advice, you're going to get your butt whooped. Right? You're going to have your windows broken. You're going to be dragged out the car, all kind of stuff. Right? Comply with the officer and complain later. Go down to the police department and complain. File the emails, city hall, write letters, hire a lawyer, do what you have to do. But slamming doors, shutting doors, thinking that you're right, trying to argue with officers on the side of the road, 2 a.m., 2 p.m. Doesn't matter that we are not going to win that type of thing. You are not going to win that type of thing. We are going to win. Calling for super. Look, you can call for super all day and all night. You can call for them. I showed up many a time, and okay, yeah, break the window. Okay, I don't know why he wants me here. You witness you breaking the window. Either you're gonna get out the car or you're not. And that was when they would always get there, right? I remember I used to have this thing where I used to tap on the door, right? Because I want to cut you off and try to out talk you and try to fast talk you and stuff. Listen to me. Listen, I get your attention. Listen to me. Listen to me. You ask for a supervisor, and I'm here. Now, either you're going to do this the easy way or you're going to do it the hard way. I'm here, and I'm telling you, you're going to get out the car. So either I'm going to back up, and my officer is going to drag you out, or you're going to step out like a man. Or mostly it was always men. I don't think I've ever said that to a woman. Not that they wouldn't, usually when you get to that point, the ladies just comply. So anyway, but who knows in this day and time. So anyway, was a traffic stop legal? Do you think that the officer could see into the car to see whether the tents were, to see if he had his seatbelt on, number one. Number two, it's not currently raining right now. Do you think that was an issue? And even if it wasn't raining, even if he couldn't see into the traffic to the vehicle, do you think that necessitates or negates the entirety of the traffic stop and saying, I don't have to follow this guy's direction because he told me my lights weren't on and because it's raining and it's not raining, so I don't got to listen to anything else that this officer says. Do you think that you think that you'll be able to talk your way out of that, regardless whether you have a supervisor come to the scene or not? Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Hit me in the comment section. Like the video. Much love and peace. Is there anything else you want me to talk about? Is there any other videos you want me to talk about? Make sure you hit me in the email. And yeah. Do I have my email up here? I got that. Subscribe, share, hit the like button. Yeah, here have an interesting show topic or whatever. Email me, biglphd@gmail.com. Big L with 2 G's, phd@gmail.com. Much love and peace.